Good evening. Thank you for joining us this evening for tonight's Village Board meeting. Today's October 2nd, 2017. We'll call this meeting to order at 7:30. Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Sure. Trustee McGreal?
Here.
Trustee Dalzell?
Here.
Trustee Pierce?
Here.
Trustee Zielinski?
Here.
Trustee Juarez?
Here.
Trustee McLaughlin?
Here.
Mayor Ryan?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You know, folks, before we start tonight's meeting, we'll start with our reports in a second. Obviously, it goes without even saying how bad we all feel for everybody in Vegas this past day. And I'd like to just call for a moment of silence, please, and let's think about everybody, the 59 folks that died and over 527 people injured by just a senseless act by somebody. Thank you very much. Let's start off with tonight's officers' reports. I'll start with myself. On your agendas, number one, currently, and just so everyone understands what the agenda is kind of referencing to, is when it comes to liquor licenses, there's different classes of liquor licenses, and I didn't put a whole explanation on your agendas, but that we have no liquor licenses available for any class right now, but we do have some new potential businesses coming into town, and it's always good to have obviously, first off, we need the board to approve the issuance, not of a license yet, but making one available. I've had one of the applicants did go through a background check, but before I went any further with these, I wanted to get the support of the board, and more importantly, have the board support these new businesses that want to come to our village and make a license available before we put them through the paces of background checks and whatnot. The one applicant did do a background check and passed with no problem. So the first one I have on your agenda is a request approval to amend the number of Class C liquor licenses from 3 and not to exceed 4. So we're going to create one said license, and it'll be issued to the owner of a new business at 1600 South Pulaski Road. As the existing property needs to be rezoned after we make one available, from a B1 special use that it is now to a B3 business liquor. There's a business on that corner that is for sale, and we have an applicant interested in purchasing that property, but he needs to know if there's going to be a license available for him before we get too far with this. Again, I hope the board supports this new business. Next, number 2 is a request for approval to amend the number of Class E liquor licenses from 2 and not to exceed 3. Again, we're just going to create one license for this, and the license will be issued to the new owners of a business located at 12340 South Cicero Avenue. Again, this property needs to be rezoned from a B1 business that it is right now to B3 business liquor. Again, this is a hotel on that premise right now, and he's not opening a bar of any type, but he does want to participate in the video gaming that Illinois provides for many businesses now, but you cannot get a gaming license without a liquor license, and all he wants to do is really just be able to serve beer and wine over the counter, obviously to people 21 and older, and he did make a room adjacent to his office to have full view of the gaming at all times. So we're talking a 15-foot by 15-foot room is where this is going into. Next, number 3 is a request for approval to amend the number of Class B liquor licenses from 3 not to exceed 4, again creating one license that will be issued to the new owners of a private club at 12221 South Cicero. The existing property, again, needs to be rezoned from a B1 status business to B3. Again, this club, we've talked about this in previous meetings, is a charitable motorcycle club that was offered the opportunity to move into a business that's on their property, but because they have liquor on the premise, even though they are not going to sell liquor to anybody, they need to have a license, and we need to facilitate that, and they do meet the boundary concerns that we had brought up at one of our previous meetings. Next, number 4 is a request for approval for the Police and Fire Commission to conduct testing for the following: police recruits, fire paramedic recruits, and firefighter lieutenant promotions. We did budget for this in our next year's budget, and apparently I just talked to the Police and Fire Commission before tonight's meeting, and our eligibility list has been exhausted for the police recruits, so we need to update that list as well as for the fire and certainly for their promotions. Last is a request to allow the students from Marist High School to park on the village-owned property located at Anderson Frenzel Little League Fields. That's 117th and Karlov. I spoke to administration there last week. They're going to be doing a small amount of construction work on the school's monastery, and they said it should only take about a month to take care of it, but they asked if we could help out some of their students. They're going to be displaced with parking because of construction vehicles. So that's on the consent agenda. Next will be the clerk's report. Clerk Petzel.
I have the presentation for the minutes of the July 12th Committee of the Whole meeting, and also the presentation of the minutes from the July 13th, 2017 Committee of the Whole meeting. I do have, as I was reviewing them over the weekend, a couple of minor changes. So if anybody else has those, if you can get those to me before you leave today, and we can update them and then get those moving along. And that is all I have, Mayor.
Okay. Attorney's report. We have Vince Kankar with us this
I
evening.
have nothing, Your Honor.
Okay. Engineer's report.
Just an update on construction. MFT resurfacing should begin this week with saw cutting and concrete. They should have crews out this week. And we are continuing with the manhole inspections for the I&I program.
Okay. I'm sorry, too. Will, where was that project at?
The MFT resurfacing,
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Okay.
Hazel
Right.
Green, and down by the Bay Mountain.
Okay. Oh, that's right, the 128th place. Great. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. Anything else? Okay. It brings us to public forum. Originally on your agenda, you had Jamala Gooseby and Pastor Thomas they were going to address the board. They called around 3:30 today. They're not available this evening, so we'll reschedule them for another time. Would anyone else in the audience like to address the board on anything on our agenda? No one? Thank you. Standing committee reports. Finance Committee, Trustee McGlohorn.
Okay, I have a request for approval of payroll dated September 29th, 2017, totaling $393,334.62. I also have a request of approval for accounts payable dated October 2nd, 2017, and I will read from the recap. Corporate, $110,622.56. Road and Bridge, $2,850.21. Pulaski Corridor TIF, $3,437.04. Waterworks, $547.68. And Heritage 2, $28,172.79, for a grand total of all funds of $145,630.28. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Fire Committee, Trustee McGlohorn.
At this point, the chief would like to give an update on the upcoming open house.
I'd like to invite everybody to our upcoming annual open house this Saturday, the 7th. It'll be at our Station 2, 11946 Laramie, from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. We have a lot of activities planned. We are hoping to top last year. We estimated last year's crowd to be at 500. We're going to try to top it this year. We're also going to be videotaping it. One of the suggestions that was offered to us is we have probably a larger crowd than most other places, so we're actually going to be submitting it to a couple different national organizations, see if we can get any awards out of that as well. So we're going to do side-by-side burns. We have a helicopter coming from Superior. Unless they get a call, then obviously they won't be there. We have the fire pole from Oak Lawn again. We have a lot of vendors inside with a lot of different information. Tours of the firehouse, tours of our equipment. We have the mini course for the kids, which seems to be a big hit all the time. The police department's going to be there with their train and also fingerprinting. Just a lot of activity, so hopefully everybody comes out for the day, and it's always a good time.
And what were those hours again?
1 to 3.
1 to 3.
Now, if anybody's never seen that before, too, Tom, I was at the Sprinkler Fitters annual picnic a couple of weeks ago, and you do that side-by-side burn, folks, and they got 2 trailers set up that look like one-bedroom apartments, loaded with furniture and whatnot, and they show a trailer, like an apartment with no sprinkler fitters versus a trailer with, and it's amazing how hot that baby got. I mean, that's a full-blown fire. 4 minutes it took for the one without, but 40 seconds to put that baby out with the sprinkler fitters in it.
Yeah, it's incredible to watch. On the 12th of this month, we're actually going to be featured on Channel 9 News again from around town. So we will be at our Station 1. There's a national organization that's going to be out there, so we're going to be doing 2 more side-by-side burns over there. So look for us on Channel 9 News on the 12th throughout the day, or in the morning, I should say.
Good job. Thanks, Tom. Chief.
That's all I have under fire.
Thank you. Next, the Police Committee, Trustee McGrail.
I have a request for approval of a list of bills and approval of the timesheets. And then I just have informationally, there's a program this Wednesday, October 4th, from 12 to 2. It's Coffee with a Cop. It's really nice outreach. Join your neighbors and police officers for coffee and conversation. It's no agenda or speech. It's just a chance to ask questions, voice your concerns, and get to know the officers in your neighborhood. It'll be held at Pappas Restaurant, 122-19 South Pulaski. I like your flyer, too. It's really sharp. That's all that I have.
Okay, next, Public Works Committee, Trustee Juarez.
No report. At this time, we just have to reschedule a Public Works meeting that we were supposed to have today. We have to reschedule. That's it.
Okay. Well, yeah, we've got committee next week, too, so we want to incorporate with that. That's fine. Next, Building Committee, Trustee Zelinski.
Yes, I have a request approval for a sewer maintenance agreement from EJ8TT located at 3201 West 115th Street. That's all I have under building.
Okay.
Trustee Zelinski, I'm sorry, there is a typo. It should be 6201 West 115th Street.
6201. Okay, correction, 6201 115th.
I err, sorry.
Water and Sewer Committee, Trustee Dozell.
No report, Mayor.
The License Committee, Trustee Juarez.
I have a request for approval of a list of license dated September 12th through the 29th, 2017. I have new business license application, Old Accord Screen Printing, 4813 West 129th Street. Highway Express Truck and Trailer, 5240 West 123rd Place. Canteen Vending, 3800 West 127th Street. Dual Merchandise, 4806 West 129th Street. Something Fishy Inc., 12606 South Pearl Drive. That's it.
That's it. Thank you. Economic Development Committee, Trustee Pierce.
The construction continues on the Checkers. Also, the...
Actually, it looks like a Checkers now.
Yeah. Done.
Have they published an opening date?
It's
October 10th?
October 10.
Next week.
Wow.
Also, the roofing economic development job at 115th and 11511, I believe, is the address. The Nancy's Pizza strip mall. The roofing started there. And also, as a reminder, next Monday night we have a presentation by John Boveri. I plan to call an EDC meeting at 7 p.m. Would people be more interested if I just fed it into the committee meeting of the whole instead?
We already have
Beth?
an insurance committee meeting scheduled earlier that day, don't we?
No,
No.
it'll be during the regular
Yeah.
committee.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, just mold it.
Okay, then I'll just move it
Just
into
add
the, okay. I'll tell them to keep it short and sweet. Okay.
Trustee-
Roger, we'll relay that to John then?
Right.
Okay. No, we're going to roll it into the committee of the whole. So he'll actually present during the EDC portion. So, all right, thank you.
Is that the gentleman from Affiliated?
John Baveri.
Yeah. Yes, is he? Yeah. Oh, no problem. We've had a handful of fellows that we've been meeting with lately. Okay, thanks.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Okay. Also, just to share with the board as well, too, I spent 2 days last week with our Economic Development Group, with the Mannheim Group, down at the at Navy Pier for the Chicago Deal-Making Show, and that was a very good show to attend. I mean, all of your major fast food restaurants and so forth there, a few bigger ones like stores and whatnot, but our biggest concern is trying to get businesses to fit the footprint of what we are acquiring on Pulaski. And roughly, we've got almost 70,000 square feet worth of footage there, or square feet footage there, and a couple of businesses fit that footprint well, but when they've got so many towns to pick from, they probably had 200 people ask them to come to their town. So, I mean, we're in line. We made some good contacts. We had some great conversation with some of those folks, and hopefully we will be considered for that as well then, too. You saw a lot of towns that were there. They actually had booths there from like Plano, Illinois, and stuff like that. They're doing everything they can to attract business in their direction as well. We stood a good chance of, obviously, us, Alsip being a collar community to Chicago, we stand on good ground in trying to attract something out there, but it's just tough. Like anything else, they're always, like, if we don't have it currently, Oak Lawn or maybe Crestwood does. So geographically, we're challenged all the time by those businesses repeating themselves. And I'll tell you one thing I've always used to be a big fan of was the buffet joints forever and a day. And obviously, even the Chinese ones aren't around anymore either. So, I mean, we talked to Golden Corral, we talked to a few places like that, and even with the one in proximity to the one out they have in Tinley Park, they felt it was too close to Alsip. So we're doing what we can, folks, to try and work to bring in some new businesses. And Roger and Chris did a real good job showing me the ropes at a show like that. And I met a lot of neighboring mayors there, too, from Midlothian and whatnot. And a lot of guys were there working, doing the same thing. So it was good to see a lot of the new mayors out there participating. Also, Board, I know we have an executive session, a short one, set up for the end of the meeting to discuss some properties, and I did put in everybody's mailbox. One of the properties that we're looking to acquire has got a billboard on its property right now, and that lease runs till 2023. So they're not showing us an out to buy out on that. If we want to make that property available, they said they would be. We're trying to negotiate something where if we relocate it to a village property, maybe they can do that at no cost and still keep their sign alive. But I actually have reservations on that as well, too. I explained to Mr. Hopkins before the meeting that, well, I identified a good spot with the fire chief on the south side of Firehouse 1. However, a lot of times when you put up a billboard, especially on village property, you don't really have say in what's going on that billboard, too. And that actually scares me a little bit, because I hate to think something improper, something racy, whatever, and it almost looks like we're patronizing that yet, too. So we got to take a better look at that and see if we can work something out. Because unfortunately, there is a contract on that billboard at 117th and Pulaski now that really needs to be gone in order to make that available to the new, our potential new buyer. So if anybody else has any ideas or you see something else come up, we're all ears. We're looking to see what we can do. But we're trying to identify with different village properties. And the funny thing, too, is even on 294, even the current billboard company, like Lamar, put up billboards on 294. And we were told by Target Billboard, who was in here recently, that's who's going to do the billboard next to the water tower, that they put those in proximity so that nobody can put their sign between them, so that they get the best vantage point from putting their own signs in place. So the Tollway Authority has got regulations on how far you can space out billboard signs, and these guys put those in just such a fashion that even if we wanted to put one in between, we can't because of the proximity between. They kind of jam themselves up by doing that. So again, we're trying to, this is really essential to making this property available. And we've got contingencies on all these purchases yet, too. So I'm doing what I can to try and make this happen. So we're on it. We're doing the best we can. Next on the list, we have the Planning and Zoning Committee, Trustee Zelinski.
No report tonight.
Pardon?
No report tonight.
Okay. Special Committee reports, Village Properties, Trustee McLaurin.
I have no report other than to say that I met with the residents at Heritage 1 on Saturday. And they have a list of concerns that I will be scheduling a committee meeting for at a future date.
Okay. That's it? Okay. Insurance Committee, Trustee McGrail.
I have no report.
Ordinance and Legislation, Trustee Pierce.
No report, Mayor.
IT, Trustee Dalzell.
Report, Mayor.
Human Resources, Trustee McGrail.
No report.
Health and Pollution, Trustee Pierce.
No report, Mayor.
Traffic Safety, Trustee Dalzell.
Nothing for this evening.
Chief Miller, we were talking recently, too. I just talked to last night I met with some residents. One of the speed trailers is down right now, right? Are we getting that fixed?
Yeah, it's down. It's going to be down probably for the remainder of the season. So.
Okay. Okay, they were still looking for some help at 115th between Cicero and Laramie, and there they still felt the folks were driving a little too fast on 115th Street.
We put it out for special attention.
Okay. And we also addressed, Chief, last week you and I were talking about some of the after-school stuff over near Marist. Did that pan out to anything, too? I should have asked.
It's currently been put out for patrol, so
Okay.
give it like a 2-week time period.
That's great. And what it was, folks, is sometimes when they, because they've got a lot of regulations on getting out of Marist parking lot, some of the kids might be coming down some of the side streets, and the residents called, said they're going a little too fast, so the police are watching out for your safety and your kids for that fact, too, to make sure everybody's doing the right speed in the neighborhood. So, thanks, Chief. Board, any presentations, petitions, or communications? Okay, nothing. Next, any removal of items from the consent agenda? Anyone want to remove anything from the consent agenda?
I'd like to remove item F, G, and H.
Anyone else?
I just had a question. Under your officer's report, item number 1.
Mhm.
What business was that coming in?
Which one? Oh, number
Requesting
one?
that one.
This is an upscaled, I don't want to say the name of the company, but they're putting up another one at 111th and Depot right now as well, too. It's going to be like a Southside version of Binny's, an upscale liquor store is what they want. It's going to have a nice cigar selection, and they're actually going to redo the facade and whatnot yet, too. I actually have I have a layout of what they're doing in Worth right now, but they want to have a couple of stores on the south side. And a good group of fellows from Orland Park that I met with that want to open that business. Okay, so I need a motion to establish a consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Take a roll.
Fill in the information.
You got to fill in your information, too.
Correct. The consent agenda, item number C, it will now read approval of a list of payroll dated September 29th, 2017, totaling $393,334.62. Item D will read approval of a list of accounts payable dated October 2nd, 2017, totaling $145,630.28. Items F like Frank, G like George, and H like Harry have been removed. Roll call number 1 to establish the consent agenda. Trustee McGreal?
Yes.
Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee Pierce?
Yes.
Trustee Zelinski?
Yes.
Trustee Juarez?
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin?
Yes.
Motion carries. To
Thank you.
establish.
Thank you. I need a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call number 2 to approve the consent agenda as presented. Trustee McGreal?
Yes.
Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee Pierce?
Yes.
Trustee Zelinski?
Yes.
Trustee Juarez?
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Returning to the items that were removed from the consent agenda, item number F.
Mayor, I'd like to move to refer this to committee, ordinance and legislation at the committee of the whole meeting. This in my opinion, just was too quick. We just received information on this over the last 48 hours and not enough information.
Trustee, I'd like to read the agenda item. This is approval to amend the number of Class C liquor licenses from 3 not to exceed 4. Said license will be issued to the owner of a new business at 1600 South Pulaski, as the existing property needs to be rezoned from B1 to special use to B3. Trustee, so you made the motion. You want
to refer to committee.
Are you tabling this? Is that what you're
No,
doing?
I'm referring it to committee.
Well, we don't have a committee set up this evening, so
We
you're
do
tabling-
next week. We refer to committee on October 9th.
Anyone want to second that, or no?
I'll second it.
Roll call number 3 to refer item F to committee on 10-2. Trustee McGreal?
Yes.
Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee Pierce?
Yes.
Trustee Zelinski?
Yes.
Trustee Juarez?
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin?
Yes.
Motion carries to refer F to committee meeting.
Item G, approval to amend the number of Class C liquor licenses from 2 not to exceed 3. Said license will be issued to a new owner of a business at 12340 South Cicero. Existing property then needs to be rezoned from B1 business to B3 liquor. Trustee Pierce?
Mayor, I'd also like to refer this one to committee meeting on October 9th, ordinance and legislation.
Are
Committee
you making
meeting
that
of the whole.
motion?
Yes. I moved.
Second.
I'm sorry, the second was Trustee Juarez?
Yes.
Thank you. Roll call number 4 to refer item number G to committee meeting on 10-9. Trustee McGreal?
Yes.
Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee Pierce?
Yes.
Trustee Zelinski?
Yes.
Trustee Juarez?
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin?
Yes.
Motion carries to refer item G to committee meeting 10-9.
And obviously, the last one is to approval to amend the number of Class B liquor licenses from 3 not to exceed 4. License will be issued to the new owner of a private club at 12221 South Cicero. The existing property needs to be rezoned, after which from B1 business to B3 business liquor. Trustee Pierce?
Mayor, I'll make the motion to approve this, but I do have one question. Question came up on this address, and we did have this significant discussion on this one, including the tape off by Mr. Early, but this 12221 South Cicero, it encompasses the entire strip mall, right?
The building, it says from building to building of the establishment itself, and it did, we have an ordinance, by state statute, typically it's 100 feet. Alsip has a 300 feet rule. This actually comes in at 345 feet.
Understood. My question is the fact that there's multiple businesses within the
the same
structure
address.
with the same address.
That does not, no, it goes from the existing, it goes from the building itself. You could be in a strip mall that's 5 blocks long.
Understood. So,
Is there a unit number or something
A
on that?
suite
because you're
number.
creating a liquor license for an address.
No, these have individual addresses on each parcel of land there. It's not all, it's not like letter A, B, C, D, or E, no.
And each business should have
That's
their
not the
own
way I
tax.
understand it. Did you, Roger?
So does the liquor license go with their tax ID, or?
Yeah.
I'm asking, I guess we're asking.
The
attorney
liquor
here.
license would show the address of the property. Now, if it's a 21, or if it's a unit H or something like that, but if they're numbered, like 2021, 2023, 25, the number will suffice.
The number encompasses the whole
They
strip mall.
they still have to do the zoning hearing.
Understood.
Right.
So-
So the number will suffice.
As far as the liquor license is
Right.
concerned. Okay, fair enough. I moved.
Right.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Roll call number 5 to approve letter H, approval to amend the number of Class B liquor licenses from 3 and not to exceed 4. License will be issued to the new owner of a private club at 221 South Cicero Avenue. The existing property needs to be rezoned from B1 Business to B3 Business Liquor. Trustee McGreal.
No.
Trustee Dalzell.
Yes.
Trustee Pierce.
Yes.
Trustee Zelinski.
Yes.
Trustee Juarez.
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin.
No.
Motion carries 4-2.
Thank you. Moving along. Number 13, any unfinished business from the board?
Mayor, this past week, you addressed Cook County Commissioner Morrison with an email letter stating this board's concern about the beverage tax and our hope that he repeals it. I would hope that you would also send the same letter on behalf of the board, since you said we were unanimous on that, to Commissioner Moody as well.
I could. I've actually met with Commissioner Moody about 2 weeks ago.
But I'd like my name, attached, and especially
Make it
since you said
formal.
you may definitely make it formal if you could, in a letter format to
That's
both of
fine.
them.
I got a good positive vibe from him, just so the audience knows too. I believe he will. I believe he will vote in the affirmative on that to get rid of it. to
That's
repeal
great.
that,
Just
yeah.
please make it official from all of us.
I sent a nice letter
And
with the
everybody
trustees
got it.
referring to. I sent a memo off to Commissioner Sean Morrison's office. You get a lot of requests from all these different organizations to try and jump on their coalition and stuff, and that's not what we're here for. We're here to work in the interest of the taxpayer, and actually in the interest of folks that do want to take advantage of the sweetened taxes, the sweetened tax beverages that we're being tackled with right now. So I did CC all the trustees in on that letter, and I'll CC everybody again, but I'll send that to Commissioner Moody, because that is our commissioner here in this village too. So no problem.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Any new business?
Yes, Mayor, I'd like to bring up, just for consideration, increasing the video game licensing fees. I passed out a little information to everybody, all the trustees and yourself. And if I could go forward with that, I'll just read. The Village of Alsip currently charges a yearly licensing fee of $25 per video gaming machine. A non-home rule unit of government may not impose any fees for operation of video gaming terminals to exceed $25 per year. The Village of Alsip is a home rule unit of government, therefore we can increase our fees and generate more revenue. Below I have a comparison of towns in the area and what they are currently charging for video game licenses. As you can see, we are grossly undercharging, and there's a good 10, 11 towns here that are surrounding us and what they're charging.
Is this per machine?
This is per machine.
Off the top of my head, I believe Alsip has approximately 66 video gaming machines in town right now.
I think it's around 60.
Okay.
I have a list of those on the next page. But on the bottom also, I have, in addition, the State Gaming Board regulates that the gaming terminal operators, the companies who own the actual gaming equipment, subsidize the business owners 50% of the cost of any video gaming licensing fees from the municipality. So if we do raise our rate for the license, the businesses get 50% of that cost back from the folks that actually own the games. So the prices I would like to impose would be $500 a machine. So the most the business would pay would be $2,500, but they would get $1,250 back from the owners of the games.
500 is about norm for everybody out here in the south side.
I don't have any of the paperwork in front of me, trustee, because I know you just passed this out before the meeting started. I believe we are doing the minimum right now, though, right?
That's the very minimum.
Right. And I see the revenues that you pointed out. in
Yeah,
there
if
then,
you
too.
actually look at the revenue page, I have highlighted in pink the very lowest income, that the worst business that's doing this. This is just a random month that I've gotten. And right there it says it's $63.39.75. That was their monthly income for the lowest income any of the businesses received for that month. 35% goes to the gaming commission, 35% goes to the bar or restaurant or whoever, the establishment that has the machines, 30% goes to the state, 5% comes to the municipality.
So currently, we only charge $25 per machine.
Per machine, yes. So even if we raised it to $500 a machine, it would be less than 2 weeks' revenue from the worst income of any of those restaurants or places. So I don't think it's going to be hurting any of the businesses. I spoke to 3 of the business owners, and they really didn't mind one way or another if this was to go into effect. So.
Well, certainly, as you said, you can bring this up next week at committee, and should the board wish to go forward with that, we can have the attorney draft an ordinance to clarify as which, and we can discuss that at our next board meeting, too.
It would increase the village's revenue from about $2,500 a year to about $30,000 a year, and that doesn't include any of the additional liquor licenses that you wanted to put in and the games that any of those businesses would like to add to it as well.
That's fine. There's only one, that I know of, there's only one business that wants to do gaming, and that was the Red Roof that we were trying to support on Cicero, but the other ones are not asking for any kind of gaming on this and stuff yet, too. Just for clarification, so everybody knows,
Yeah.
that's all.
Can we, for next week, can we also have the list of the liquor licenses in town? Because by ordinance, you have to have a liquor license to have a gaming license. And I think you've got, we might be mistaken, but it looks like there's one on here that doesn't have a liquor license.
One of the gaming places?
Yeah.
Or shouldn't.
Well, the only exceptions they make to these per the gaming rules is the truck stops, and that doesn't count. They actually give the truck, I don't know why the state of Illinois does that, but they allow truck stops. You don't have to have liquor, but you can have gaming around the clock at a truck stop. Is that what you're referring to?
No.
Is that or fraternal organizations? One of the two. Those are both get passes.
Okay.
But, okay, that's fine.
Still,
We'll
yeah.
get a list, and you can tell me which one you're looking at.
I don't understand. The Illinois Gaming Board would never approve a license without a liquor license.
Right.
That-
And again, just for
They
clarification.
may have different names.
The liquor license, again, that Red Roof Inn was looking for, they'll be the only hotel in Alsip to have one, but they're only looking for a beer and wine just to be able to have the gaming. You're not forced to buy a beer or have a glass of wine, but they have to at least be able to offer that to you per state statute and stuff. Illinois Gaming says that.
And I also believe then if they are going to offer liquor, and they also have to offer food.
Actually, I don't believe it says that on the
No.
game.
I think they have to offer some kind of food, even if it's
I believe so.
small
You could.
snacks
I'm
or
sure if you
something.
have a vending machine of some type, yeah. I'm telling you, this room is 15 by 15, you're not getting a whole lot in there. You know?
I understand.
So, but thanks for bringing it up, though, too, yeah. Anyway, Trustee Pierce, you wanted to call for a closed session, then?
Yes. Mary, move to closed session to discuss the purchase or lease of real property for the use of the public body, including meetings held for the purpose of discussing whether a particular parcel should be acquired pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C5.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to go into closed session.
Roll call number 6 to adjourn to closed session. Trustee McGrill?
Yes.
Trustee Dalzell?
Yes.
Trustee Pierce?
Yes.
Trustee Zelinski?
Yes.
Trustee Juarez?
Yes.
Trustee McLaughlin?
Yes.
Motion carries to go to executive session.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to go in for a short meeting for closed session and talk about some real property issues that we need to discuss because they're still under negotiation. We're not going to vote on anything else this evening, so you're welcome to stay if you like, but that's... Oh, I'm sorry. I thought somebody was saying something. We're not going to vote on anything else this evening, so thank you again for joining us tonight.